Good morning, friends. It's Mrs. Larson here. I first of all want you all to know how much I'm missing you and I think about you every day. Please make sure you're checking into our Google Classroom so you can read the messages that I'm sending you. I thought we'd spend today a little time together anyway while I read you a story. It's called Casey Over There. It's about a young man who has to go off to fight in World War I and how his little brother, who he leaves behind in New York, feels about it. In keeping with the spirit of the time of World War I thought I'd wear a hat like the ladies would be wearing at that time. Here we go. Casey Over There, written by Staton Rabin. When Aubrey was 7, his brother Casey joined the army. Aubrey thought Uncle Sam was a little like Santa Claus, only skinnier and taller, and not so jolly. He made people think of America the way Santa reminds people of Christmas. If Uncle Sam wanted you, you went. Aubrey was too young to go, but Casey wasn't, so he sailed to France to fight in the Great War. Letters and packages took a long time to cross the Atlantic Ocean. There, Aubrey was in Brooklyn, writing another letter to Casey asking, "Did you get it yet?" And there was Casey in Brucey, waiting for the package Aubrey had sent 2 months ago. There was Casey dipping his helmet into a muddy trench for water to shave with. And there was Aubrey playing kick the can on West Ninth Street, wondering if Casey ever got the shaving cream. Dear Runt, don't send soap after all. Red Cross had some. Please send chewing gum instead. Blackjack or nothing. Love, your brother, Sergeant Casey Wheeler, 69th, New York. Dear Sergeant Casey, I like the sound of that. Too late. Love, Aubrey. Aubrey's family went to Coney Island one Sunday. They thought being busy might help them stop worrying about Casey for a few hours. Mrs. Wheeler worried anyway, and Aubrey got sick on the Ferris wheel. Aubrey and his father rolled up their pants legs and waded into the ocean. A man in a striped bathing suit walked up and down the beach like he wanted to show off his muscles. And a fox terrier ate Aubrey's saltwater taffy. Is Casey over there on the other side? Aubrey asked his father. That's France. Yes, indeed. I'm waving to him, Dad. The months dripped by. Casey got trench foot from sitting in the mud. Aubrey sprained his ankle playing King of the Hill. Mrs. Wheeler gave up bridge and went to church more often. The mailbox was empty again. 3 months since the last letter from Casey. Aubrey was very worried, so he wrote another letter. Dear Uncle Sam, my brother is in the fighting 69th. Sergeant Casey Wheeler is his name. Over there, like the song says. Are you done with him yet? Yours very truly, Aubrey Wheeler. What's his address? Aubrey asked. Mr. Wheeler looked up from the New York Times and slid his eyeglasses to the tip of his nose. I don't know, Aubrey. He reached over and scratched Aubrey's favorite itchy shoulder blade. I don't know if Uncle Sam answers his mail. He's pretty busy, I imagine. Isn't Santa Claus busy? Aubrey's father shrugged. In December, anyway. And doesn't he answer my letters every Christmas? Well, he certainly seems to, doesn't he? Mr. Wheeler said. Aubrey followed Mr. Zydeco all the way to the post office to make sure the letter didn't fall out of his mailbag. On the envelope, he'd written, "The Honorable Uncle Sam, the Government, Washington, District of Columbia." Soon the leaves on the Wheelers' trees turned red and yellow. One day there was a knock at the front door, and Mrs. Wheeler nearly fainted. "Sorry I gave you a start, Mrs. Wheeler," said Mr. Zydeco, wiping his feet on the straw mat. "It's not a telegram. Don't worry." A telegram could mean Casey had been killed in the war. "It's for you, kid," Mr. Zydeco said to Aubrey, handing him the envelope. "From Washington." Aubrey tore the envelope so fast that he ripped the letter in two. He held the pieces together to read it. The White House, Washington, D.C., November 24th, 1917. Dear Aubrey, I hope you won't be disappointed to receive a reply from me rather than from the honorable old gentleman. Uncle Sam is much occupied with the war effort at present, and my secretary surmised that I might be the next best thing to the genuine article. I want you to know how proud I am to have a fine young man like your brother, Sergeant Casey Wheeler, serving our country. I'm sure you are proud of him too, and I can only begin to imagine how much he is missed. As for Sergeant Wheeler, he is fortunate indeed to have a brother who is so determined to look out for his welfare. I wish I could send him home to you tomorrow. Alas, Uncle Sam is not through with him yet. When he is, I imagine I should be one of the first to know. Until then, I wish you and yours peace of mind, and for all of us, a world at peace that is safe for democracy once more. Sincerely yours, Woodrow Wilson. Aubrey chewed up a stick of blackjack and used it to fasten the two halves of President Wilson's letter back together. The letter took a place of honor on Aubrey's bedroom wall next to his photo of Mary Pickford, his favorite movie star. He read the letter every night before he went to sleep, but he still missed Casey. There was Aubrey flattening pennies under the wheels of the trolley in Brooklyn, and there was Casey crawling on his belly, leading a patrol into no man's land. Nearly a year went by, and then, at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918, the war ended. Aubrey and his parents met Casey down by the piers. He was thin and he had a limp. "Casey?" "Yes, Runt." "When you were in France, did you see me wave to you that time from Coney Island?" "Sure," Casey said. "Why do you think I waved back?" Dear Uncle Sam and President Wilson, thanks for giving him back. Love, Aubrey. That's the end of our story for today. And although we aren't at war, we are in a war sort of fighting germs right now. So here's what I'd like you to do for me today. After you've finished watching this video, of course, please write me a letter in our Google Classroom about what you're doing as you're at home right now, fighting that war on germs. How are you spending your time? What are your favorite things that you're doing? What are you accomplishing? Let me know. I'm looking forward to seeing that letter today, by the end of the day. Thank you. I love you, and watch for me again. Bye.